Hey guys, my name is Olivia and welcome to the next Bible study session. Today's going to be pretty quick because I have to get going somewhere, but also sorry if I'm not focused. I can't really tell if I'm focused in my camera. It's not the first time I've been unfocused in the camera, but today I just wanted to talk about what I read earlier was 2 Corinthians chapter 12, and it's entitled Paul's Vision and His Thorn. I encourage you guys to read through this. It's really beautiful. It reminds me why we have weaknesses. And lately I've been feeling really weak in different ways, just confused over some things and anxious about things. And just, I feel like my passion has been kind of waning, and I just kind of feel like I'm going through the motions and that kind of whole works-based thinking, which is so hard, and it just wears you out so much and gets you so exhausted. So I just went to the Lord today with all of that, and that's always I never regret doing that. Like, I'll regret not doing it, but I never regret doing it, because going to Him and just pouring out how I feel is just the best thing to do. I always feel a different perspective when I go to Him. I always feel like I'm being pulled back, I feel like, okay, He's replacing my thoughts and my perspective, which is skewed. He's replacing that with His perspective, and so I feel all of this love flood through me, and I feel so much love for other people that I did not feel before. It's just a great reminder to all of us, that we need to just keep seeking His face, no matter what we feel, no matter what doubts we're feeling, no matter what we're facing. I think something really hard for me lately has been just doubt. It just creeps in so easily and so quickly, and it's so hard to battle and to manage, especially being an anxious person. I overthink so many things, and we as humans just overthink everything and want to know the answer to why things are the way they are. There's been a lot of death lately. I've heard of, a girl in my school, her dad died. A girl who went to a school near mine died of meningitis. It was very sudden. She died in a day. Another guy I know of, I don't know him, but I know of, through someone else, he died in a car accident. It's just, there is death all around us, and it's so hard sometimes to deal with that, the fact that death is such a reality. And so I think it's pulling me back to this point of, okay, we don't have much time. We don't know how much time we have. We don't know when the Lord is coming back. We don't know how long we personally will be here. We could be gone anytime. And so I want to live here right now with that sense of urgency. I was listening to a Francis Chan teaching on just being urgent and not losing that sense of, okay, these people need Jesus right now. So we don't want to lose that sense of urgency. So I just want to encourage you guys to lift those families up in prayer and just pray for these people. I just can't imagine the pain that they feel. And pray that you may also be ready, and that you may not be just kind of living half-heartedly, but that you may just be ready, living 100% for the Lord. So yeah, anyway, back to Paul and his thorn. So his thorn was to keep him from becoming conceited. It says here that Satan, a messenger of Satan, came, and it was a thorn in his flesh. It says 3 times, this is verse 8, 3 times I pleaded with the Lord to take it away from me. But He said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me. That is why, for Christ's sake, I delight in weaknesses, in insults, in hardships, in persecutions, in difficulties. For when I am weak, then I am strong. When I read those words are so special and so important to me, because whenever any of us face a trial, it is so hard in the moment. We look back and we say, yeah, God did a lot through this trial, but in the moment it is so hard to face those trials. But I've really been learning about how God refines us and how He changes us. And I think really that's what I wanted to get out of this message, is just to tell you guys that God is always changing us. Till the day we die, God is changing us. And that's something that I was writing about in my notebook, which I encourage all of you guys to write in a notebook. It's really cool to look back on. So let me see. I wrote a lot about I wrote about our souls, and how our souls, I was just kind of writing a little bit abstractly. I was saying, I don't know what my soul is made of, but it's dense and it's deep, and I know that it doesn't end when my body will fade and die. And so whatever our souls are made of, that is where the Lord resides. That is the deepest part of us. The deepest part of our being is where he resides and where he changes us. And that would make sense because the deepest part of our being is like the most sacred part of it. It's like the inner room of a temple. And so our soul is just so important to the Lord. And so I read a quote that, or maybe it was a verse. No, I think it was a quote. Someone said, see people as souls, see everybody as a living soul. Don't look at their face, don't look at their appearance, and don't judge them by that, but think about the fact that they are a soul and they have a soul and that they were made by God and knit together by God. This is veering off on a little subtopic, but we forget very quickly that everybody was made by God and made in God's image. So I want to encourage you guys to continue to pray that God may be keeping reign of your tongue, that he may be giving you wisdom and maturity on what to say to people and how to say it, because I've just noticed I'm so flawed in what I say, in what I do sometimes, my actions. I can be so quick to do something without rationalizing it or without thinking about it in a mature, wise way. And so I think that God really wants us to be maturing in him and growing up in him, not any longer drinking spiritual milk, but eating spiritual food. And that is his goal for each and every one of us. It's for you, it's for me, it's for us to grow and change in Christ. That finishing work of Christ. Just know that he always has things that he wants to work out in you. Wherever you are in your walk, whatever the spectrum is, God has things for you. Whether you're sitting here and you don't believe in Jesus at all, or whether you've been walking with Jesus for years, Jesus has something for each and every one of you. And so I just want to encourage you to respond to his call, to be made one with him, to come and to meet with him even when it's so hard. But all of this that we can see is so futile and so finite. And Jesus is so infinite. And it's so hard for us as people to focus our eyes on the unseen. It doesn't make any sense to us logically and rationally. But when we experience God, we realize, someone may look at me and tell me, your dad doesn't exist. And I'll say, of course he does. I know my dad. I see my dad. I talk with my dad. I have a relationship with my dad. I've grown in my relationship with my dad. I've known him my whole life. It's just like that with the Lord. Our doubts go away when we realize nothing man can say can take that away. Nothing man can do can take that away. Man can take away life. Man can take away anything but that. That is our eternal hope, our eternal perspective, is the fact that no matter what happens here on earth, we have eternity in heaven with Christ. And that is what we have to hold to in this life where there is so much darkness and so much death and pain. And so I want you guys to know that you're not alone in whatever you're going through, that I love all of you, and that I want you guys to just grow and mature in Christ. And I want to be just made one with you. We're called to be made one with each other, just as Christ and the Father are made one. So I just want to encourage you guys. Some of what I said today was from a Francis Chan teaching that I listened to, and bits and pieces of things I read. So not all of these are my personal thoughts. I just wanted to give credit to other people here. But I just want to encourage you guys to know the Lord. And if you don't know where to start, I'm going to give you a prompt out of this Hope devotional journal that I love. I want to encourage you guys to write. So, I'm actually looking for one right now. I probably should have done this before the video started. Ooh, this is a good one. This one is called God Offers You His Power. It says, how easily we forget our powerlessness. We think we have life all figured out, under control. We predict what will happen in the days, months, and years ahead. And then suddenly we are surprised by circumstances, an illness, a natural disaster, a fractured relationship. And we realize that we actually have no real control and can only guess at what is to come. When you are blindsided by life, when you feel powerless, look up and take hope. God's power works within you, and his power is far greater than any power that you can imagine. This is from Ephesians chapter 3, 20-21, and this is the Message, which is a different version of the Bible. God can do anything, far more than you could ever imagine or guess or request in your wildest dreams. He does it not by pushing us around, but by working within us. This is perfect, guys. His Spirit deeply and gently within us. So I want to encourage you guys to believe those words today and know that we all struggle. I've been struggling so much, but just going to the Lord and learning from Him has been so cool, to see Him replacing that fear, that balled up fear that I've been living with. He just opens it up and allows Himself to come in and be in us. So I just want to encourage you guys to seek the depths of God. When everyone else is chasing what is seen and what is futile and finite, chase God, chase the infinite, chase what you cannot see, and keep your eyes on Him. Now the prompt here is write now about one situation in which you long to sense God's power at work through you. So write about a situation where you want God to work in you, where you long to see God working and changing you. And if you guys want to comment or text me about it, just let me know, and let me know if you have any questions. Have a wonderful weekend, and I love you all.